Hello there, everyone. How are you? Hello, what's up? Hi, hello. Hey, yes, I am still here, but you can't see my face because we're going over a lot of text today. Chat, today we are covering what I would consider to be some of the coolest stuff coming out of the Borderlands reveal, and that is this, our skill trees. So we're going to cover Phaseslam today. This is a skill tree for Amara. This is the one that lets you Titan Slam, if you're a Destiny fan, the ground around you and beat the living fuck out of bad guys. So as you can assume, Phaseslam is a skill where you leap in the air, slam on enemies, doing damage. It's not too hard, but we're gonna go through. Now we've moved my other face. This is from the live reveal, so I didn't have a clean capture alongside of it, so we're working with what we got. Personal space must be purchased to activate. Amara'S weapon shots deal bonus damage based on her distance from target. The closer the target, the greater the bonus. This stacks up to 3 times. So Amara is a brawler. If you were wondering what a punch siren felt like, the Phaseslam skill tree is absolutely where you're gonna start. So this stacks up to 33% bonus damage based on being close, making, you know, Amara'S time to target or distance from target incredibly important if you're kind of building into this close range spec tree. Then we have clarity. Amara constantly regenerates health. The lower her health, the more powerful the regeneration. After an action skill, the bonus is doubled for a few seconds. Health regeneration up to 1%. Missing health per second, duration 5 seconds. So this stacks up to 5% of your missing health per second. Obviously doubling up to 10 after you use your ability. Again, this is designed to let you get close into encounters and have a backup health regen no matter what you're doing. Honestly, Phaseslam is going to feel really good if you're the kind of person that likes to turn off your brain, run at enemies, and shoot them in the head a lot. One with nature. Amara gains increased max health and elemental damage resistance to her action skill element. Must be purchased to activate. So action skill element is interesting. I didn't really figure this out at the reveal, but there is a way for you to control which, you know, element your action skill's using, whether it's going to be caustic or arc or whatever. So stacking that on top of this is going to give you elemental damage reduction up to 60%, which is pretty big, and increase your max health up to 25%, which again, big. And that's just the first tree. This is where you're going to start. Route to rise. Amara gains more health. Obviously, if you're going for the health build, if you're going for the health regen build, this synergizes really well because your recovery, you know, over time per second is based off of how much your total health pool is. So a larger health pool with Amara not only makes her more survivable, but it makes her harder to kill the more her health goes down, which is just a really awesome synergy. Helping hands. For a few seconds after using her action skill, Amara's arms remain active and grant her damage reduction. So again, damage reduction after skill use duration is 8 seconds. Obviously, it's going to stack 5 times. Damage reduction is 4%, so we're talking about 20. And oh man, 40 seconds, maybe. Not sure what the stack on the duration was, but again, more survivability. This is Blight Tiger. Tullis had to add this because apparently I missed it in the live stream. Converts Amara's action skill to corrosive damage. So this is the first time where you're customizing your action skill. This is going to be giving you the corrosive damage decrease when you're using that top left hand skill. Does not take the effect until Amara chooses the action skill. So this is one of the first times where you can equip an additional, you know, a modifier to that skill. Arms deal. Amara deals increased splash damage and takes reduced splash damage. So, you know, if you're using like Molly 1 charging weapons, if you're using rockets, you know, if you're using anything that has an area of effect in the explosions, it's going to increase the splash damage coming off target. Feels really good. Now that I'm going over this, I'm getting really sad that I didn't get to mess around with more of these skills at the reveal. Vigor. Killing an enemy with Amara'S action skill grants all allies movement speeds for a few seconds. This effect stacks. So this is a stackable effect. We got 3 points spendable. I'm assuming it's going to stack up to 6% movement speed increase, or maybe beyond with mods for a nice duration of probably, let's do the math, maybe 24 seconds. Feels right. This is the first point where we're really seeing skill tree synergy. And one of the things that I talked about a lot when I was doing the review for the pre-sequel, kind of replaying it, is we're going to see a lot more of these crossing abilities that affect your whole team than I hope than ever before, because it makes you want to go for specific team-based builds and specific solo builds. This is nice to have solo. It's great to have in a team, because I'm a huge fan of movement speed increase. Find your center. Amara gains increased melee damage. Additionally, for a few seconds after the action skill, you gain increased melee range. Melee damage is 20%. The range is 50%. So here again, we have something that's going to feel really unique. I do not recall, and you can feel free to correct me in the comments, because you're gonna an increased range buff on melee for any character in the Borderlands universe. Now, this makes me really excited. Increasing melee range, and we're not talking about Krieg throwing an axe, sort of opens up a lot more possibilities if you want to run and gun sort of melee shotgun sort of situation through everything. The melee damage increase is pretty solid, and the range is pretty solid too. Stacking that with other abilities is probably going to feel real nice. Mindfulness. Whenever Amara takes damage, she gains a stack of mindfulness. For every stack of mindfulness, Amara gains improved shield regeneration delay and movement speed. Stacks decay after a few seconds. So, mindfulness stacks up to 25. We're talking about a solid movement speed increase and a really solid regen delay, depending on how hard this stacks. So the duration is 5 seconds per stack. So again, if you're looking to build into a synergy here, you have, all of this stuff that's going to work together that's really going to encourage you to take damage with Amara, and give you confidence that you'll be able to survive those close encounters from the slam. I'm really getting more excited the more we go down this tree. Fracture. Amara summons a handful of fists that erupt from the ground, dealing damage to enemies in front of Amara. Now, we've seen this in the trailer that they showed at the end. You saw the caustic fists coming up from out of the ground, bam, 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 and then punching an enemy at the end. This is an action skill modification. I'm really, again, it's just a way to change. So you go from a slam into a more chained underground attack. Revelation. Mars action skill now makes a Nova when it damages enemies, dealing damage to all nearby enemies. So this is going to be something that's stacking with that skill that's increasing your splash damage. It decreases the total damage output of your skill, but you have Nova damage to sort of back that up. Samsara. Whenever Amara deals damage to an enemy with her action skill, she gains a stack of Samsara. For every stack of Samsara, Amara gains increased gun damage, health regeneration for a few seconds. Stacks decay after a few seconds. So basically, this modification is going to allow you, again, this is insane. The amount of close, have you guys been paying attention to how much close range damage increase stuff we're getting with Amara? This skill tree is designed to put you up close and personal to enemies, fuck them up, and be damn near impossible to kill. I'm loving it. Increased gun damage and health regen for a few seconds. Stacks decay. So you jump into a group of 10 or 20 enemies, or 5 enemies or whatever. It's really going to, on top of all your other health regen, make you even more unkillable as long as you're diving in, pounding, and then running away. I'm really, as I'm talking through this, I'm seeing the combat flow with Amara around this action skill, and it's really cool. Downfall. Amara leaps in the air and shoots an elemental beam below her briefly, followed by a slam. God damn. That's amazing. Jab cross. Whenever Amara deals melee damage to an enemy, she gains increased action skill damage and increased weapon damage for a few seconds. So I'm going to assume that this is built for you to stack punches and then dunk a slam on people. It has up to 5 points, so maybe we're talking 50% weapon damage Maybe we're talking 55% action skill damage. I don't know, but it's exciting as fuck. Do unto others. Whenever an enemy damages Amara, she automatically throws an energy orb back at them, dealing action element skill damage. The skill has a short cooldown. So every 8 seconds when you get shot or punched, you are launching an elemental retaliation damage ball at whoever you're fighting. Guardian Angel. When Amara enters fight for your life, she immediately gains a second wind, restores her health, creates an action skill elemental nova, knocks back nearby enemies, and that happens every 60 seconds. So in order for enemies to kill Amara, once you get this far down to the tree, they have to fight through all of your health regen, all of your damage increase, your stacked health regen, and then of course they have to make sure they drop you twice in 60 seconds. This is amazing. Glamour. Enemies damaged by Amara'S action skill become confused. They temporarily attack allies. However, action skill cooldown is increased. If Amara targets an enemy with phase grasp, so this is something that's going to go across skills, nearby enemies to the grasp are confused as well. So this is an augment that you can equip onto, you know, your slot, your secondary slot. You can sort of see it there where it's highlighted on the one. This is something that's going to function across all of the things, just like the Cossack edition and things like that. You're going to have an augment or a change to whatever you're doing to make your make your skill tree sort of feel more dynamic. Confusion is awesome. I'm excited. The capstone Blitz. Melee override. Press in right stick or melee button to make Amara dash a distance forward and perform a special strike, dealing elemental damage. If a Blitz melee attack kills an enemy, it's immediately reset. Okay. So essentially, if you've stacked up all your melee damage and you're really strong, this is going to allow you to plow through trash with melees with your increased range and increased damage and all this other stuff, like zipping around the map, like bop, 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 bop. Sort of like a supersonic speed E Honda. I am excited about this skill tree. Phaseslam is a lot more dynamic than I thought it was. You know, when I was reading through this, when I was looking at it really quick, obviously I'm trying to experience as much of the game at the live reveal as I can. And I wasn't really seeing, you know, how dynamic this skill tree is. So if you're an up close brawler, you are going to want to use the Phaseslam tree. You're going to be hard to kill. I see this as definitely a skill tree choice for people who are a big fan of Krieg, maybe even Zero, considering this final skill. If you're looking for a melee character, unsurprising at all, surprising no one, you're going to probably lean toward this tree in Amara. I am amped as hell. I'd love to hear some of your ideas about build concepts you'd like to see or try out when the game launches, so that I can, you know, do your build on day one or something like that. It'd be cool. Thank you for watching today. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. As always, the only thing I ask you to do is share this video with someone you like. And if you think I'm cool, follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Twitch. That's it. Other than that, I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.